We've got a special guest in the studio today. Jefferson Berry has flown in from Philadelphia, and he's got gigs around the area, and he's going to tell us all about those and premiere his brand new album. Hi, Jefferson. How you doing?
Hi, David. Thanks for having me.
You bet. I didn't hear you through my headphones, so,
No?
but I got you on there.
All right. Well.
It should be working. Maybe a little closer to the mic.
Oh, okay. We'll do it like that.
That's the trick.
That's the trick.
Look,
Got it.
Let's talk a little bit about your history. You came here today from Philadelphia, and I know that you've had several albums out previously before the new one we're going to premiere today.
Right.
So you want to talk a little bit about your history before we get here?
Well, we had a couple albums that we put out during the pandemic. In fact, one of them, which I thought was going to be the big hit, we debuted that on March 7th, 2020.
Wow.
You know that date.
Yeah, then everything
The
changed.
whole world fell apart.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was smart enough to follow that up with another record that I couldn't get out in back form. But the online stuff that we've been doing and videos that we've been doing, we've been nominated for some awards at some of the film festivals and things that you can do by yourself indoors.
Uh-huh. Well, I have a good friend, Alexis Hart, that does great songwriting, and his videos get into film festivals. So talk a little bit more about the videos that were at the film festivals. And
Well, I come from Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and like a lot of America, we have a gun problem. We'll probably go over 500 murders this year. And so I had a song on Double Deadbolt Logic called Locks and Guns.
That's it.
Locks and Guns got nominated at the San Francisco Film Festival, a Polish Film Festival, a British Film Festival. So I said, wow, that's a lane. You know, I could.
Can people access that on YouTube?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Locks and
Guns.
Locks and Guns.
It's about American fear.
Yeah.
You know, people are fearful.
That's why people are grabbing their guns.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And then past that, which album did that come from?
That was on Double Deadbolt Logic.
But was that the second, third, or fourth album?
That's the first one.
The very first album.
Well, this is the first in this current form of Jefferson Berry and the Urban Acoustic Coalition.
Right. And let's mention that. That's the name of your band.
Yep.
Urban
Acoustic Coalition. We shorten it to UAC. Yeah.
Because that's what the album says, Jefferson Berry and the UAC.
It's urban folk music. We write stories about, things that are going on in the city. And part of the folk community has embraced it. And some have not. But it's an Americana roots kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's an apt description. And since we went that deep really fast, I want to mention that you were a teacher in the inner city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I love that job.
Learned a lot. So when you write these songs, modern folk songs, if you will, which tell the story of our culture, our life, our country.
Right.
You're coming from a real deep place in there.
Well, right, and I'd have students come in and tell me about how to steal a car, and therefore I would take that information and put it into a song called "Shattered Glass." I mean, it was a learning experience for both of us, and some of these kids are really talented. Little Uzi was one of my students.
My gosh. Little Uzi.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, coming from the inner city of Philadelphia, and good for you for being there and doing your best to help people.
Right.
That's what you were doing there.
Yeah, and then COVID stopped everything. We had another
For the whole world.
Yeah, for the whole world. Had another video come out called "We'll Soon Be Together," which is an animation.
Nice.
That. Where I turned all my band members into cartoon characters. It's basically a COVID love song, and that got some play. We're pretty happy with that too.
Okay. Well, what I want to say about your music and your albums that I've listened to is that you call it urban folk music, and I think that's very appropriate, particularly for the lyricism and that your messaging that you're putting into all those songs. But it's not folk music. It's not just you and acoustic guitar. You've got wonderful production, wonderful musicians, wonderful background vocalists going on.
Right.
So it's a beautiful setting that you're doing this modern folk music in.
But it is mandolins and banjos and lap steel, and it's not completely rocked out. Well,
Oh,
actually,
no,
we're going to play a song that is kind of rocked out, but yeah, no, I like the form that we've hit.
Yeah, and I think it's a real complementary form. I call it modern folk music, if you will, because again, the messaging and the purpose of the lyrics and your presentation of it is coming rooted in folk music. But the music that you're putting it in on those albums is way bigger than just limited that.
Sure, sure.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And on production, gosh, there's so many people out here doing what I do. There's a million songwriters out there,
Yeah.
and really the production I think has to be top notch if you're going to get noticed.
Good for you. I do too. And I was talking to somebody an hour ago. Lebo called in, and talking about. I think you hang the produced albums on the wall as your work of art, because the nightly gigs come and go, and you have good nights and you have bad nights, and they don't necessarily get recorded, and people just have their memory of those people who were there. But that album you make, it gets passed around, it goes to every city, it lasts forever, lasts past you and my life, probably. And that's the document, and I think that's the work of art. I love recorded albums. That's just been my favorite thing.
Yeah, I liked your interview with Lebo. I'm
thank
a
you for
fan.
listening.
I drove in with it, and his comments on this were pretty right on. Yeah.
Yeah, and what an amazing guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and he's going to be in town Saturday, and that's of course why he gave us the time to call in and talk about that. But I want to talk about your playing. You played a gig last night, and you've got gigs coming up.
Right, we were in San Luis Obispo last night, a singer-songwriter in the round type of thing,
Nice.
and that was fun at a winery, which it was fun.
Made it more fun.
Yeah, sure, right. I'm doing this tonight, and I've got a house concert in Nevada City tomorrow, and on Sunday I'm going to be down in Monterey at the Dust Bowl Brewery, playing with my old college buddies, the Rayburn Brothers.
And Rayburn Brothers are well known around Santa Cruz and around this station. Great gig. That's in Monterey. Which night again?
It's Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's in the afternoon.
Oh, nice. A daytime gig Sunday down in Monterey.
Daytime gig to sit around, drink beer, and listen to some great music.
The Dust Bowl Brewery is right on the beach, right on the
Right.
harbor, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's a great location. It's just off downtown and just off the beach.
Right. Well, I was going to the University of California, Santa Cruz, and the Rayburn Brothers lead guitar player Nick Hines was in a band with me, and I couldn't stay here. I had to go, and he stayed, and he's been playing with Craig for I don't know, 50 years.
I don't know if it's been that long. Maybe it has.
40 anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. They've been around here a long time.
I sound great too.
And they do, and they always have, and that's what keeps them going.
Sure.
Keeps them going around here.
So then, and then I head back down south. I've got another a gig in Kukyos. Is that how you pronounce that? Not really good.
I don't know.
It's in the San Luis Obispo market, and then I'm doing a Facebook Live show on Venice Beach where I used to live, and that ought to be a hoot.
Oh wow!
Because you do it at 5 o'clock here, and it's 8 o'clock,
8 o'clock
back
here,
home,
so,
and
yeah.
I'll get a lot of hits on that.
Well, let's give a shout out to some of the mutual friends that got you here. First of all, it was Biff Kennedy that brought me to your attention. Is that right?
Nice, yeah, Biff.
Yeah, and a shout out to Rachel Garland. That's how I met Biff. And Rachel is a great folk singer, folk songwriter up in San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
Who I just love her.
Yeah, Biff has been a big deal in Philadelphia for a long time. He's the
Yeah,
go-to
and
guy in the folk music area.
Biff got a hold of me and said, "You really should hear my friend Jefferson." So
Yeah.
that's how it started. And then it turns out you're good buddies from the school days with Bobby Bishop here.
Bobby
The
B.
Squid.
The Nighttime with Bobby B.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he's one of our favorites.
Well,
here.
he's from Trenton, so whenever he comes back and sees his people,
I got
he comes in and we put him up, and it's always great seeing him. He's a
Trenton,
great guy.
New Jersey, and then our program director Howard came in. Did he say for us when he's from Baltimore?
It's called Balmore.
Baltimore. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. That's like saying, how do you say New Orleans?
Yeah.
Nolens.
Nolens. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of East Coast influence here today. I didn't realize.
Well, that's, you come into California, you're going to meet a lot of East Coasters.
Yeah,
That's always been the case.
And we mentioned Lebo and the Grateful Dead, and I was always amazed how powerful the Dead were back in New York and the East Coast, just like here in San Francisco and the West Coast. So there's a huge get together here.
At a certain point, right? The Dead were way bigger here than they were in New York, but as soon as like things started to develop, I think really with Terrapin Station and Blues for Allah, that's where things turned up on the East Coast when I saw it. And they didn't sell a lot of records down south for a long time, but of course now they're the Grateful Dead.
Well, they just put out I think a 17-disc box set of every concert at Madison Square Garden. So they ended up New York being a second home for them.
Oh, well, no doubt.
Also.
And those box sets of vinyl of the Dead, they're just exquisite.
Oh yeah.
It raises the temperature in your entire house.
Cool. It's hot and cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool that you know about that. I met Bob, the producer, Bob and Betty, the early producers from the Dead, and did some work up at Bob's house several years ago with my friend Rock Scully from the Dead family. So,
Wow.
So they permeate this radio station for sure.
How could they not?
The Dead are everywhere.
Sure.
Let's talk about your new album, because we're going to play some of it, and it's just come out in the last month or so.
Oh, it comes out this week.
Oh my gosh, it's brand new.
We put out the single last month, and it's getting a lot of play. But the album drops on Monday.
Oh, too nice. I mean, nice that we get to premiere it.
And
even before Street Day.
Even before Street Day, right?
Thank you for bringing it.
Oh, of course. So, Prairie Fire is the name of the album, and the title track on it makes reference to the handbook for the Weather Underground, where they were calling for.
I remember.
Oh yeah, me too. I actually have a copy.
Oh, what a great collector's item!
It's a very good collector's item. They were talking about the violent overthrow of the United States government. Now you go playing music for people, and they don't want a history lesson. They've got troubles of their own. So the secret, and maybe you'll see when we play it, is to, address the trouble, but make it sound fun. So you gotta have.
That's right.
That's what the people want to hear. People don't want to hear a history lesson, although I'm prone to giving one.
Well, that's my background too, coming from that era. But yeah, we try to lift people up here now.
Right.
Make people feel good.
The scene described in the song is a Trump rally.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we're going to play two tunes, and so the tune you're talking about is the title track, Prairie Fire.
Right.
And it's a beautiful album cover. I just want to tell everybody, go look.
And
look at the album cover.
I was just searching around the internet, and Caitlin. No, I did not. I paid for it.
Yeah, good for you.
Caitlin Hewlett in Sparks, Nevada. I think she's a physical therapist or something. She just happened to catch it. A bunch of the news services ran it. I reached out to her and I licensed it.
Wow, it's just terrific. It makes a great cover.
Right.
And it's a nice fold-out package with information about all the songs on the CD.
This is the problem with streaming and the digital media. It's
That's
so convenient, but
we
you
don't get this anymore.
You don't get the art.
Oh, it's so sad.
But you will if you buy my stuff.
Well, Prairie Fire is the title track of the album, and we're going to hear that in just a minute. But we're also going to hear a song that was the first single off the album. It was called That Was Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to say anything about that before we get into the music?
That Was Me is a commentary on liars, grifters. We're lousy with them.
Yeah.
And the people taking credit for things they didn't do.
Yeah.
And there's so much more of that now
I
than
get the
ever
song
before.
so strongly now after having heard it for days. Now when you say it, it's like, whoa, the lights go on.
So there's a couple performances on there that are just I'm really flattered by. Marky B is my harmonica player in the Urban Acoustic Coalition. He's been with us since pretty much the beginning for the last 8 years. And Emily Drinker is the name you're going to hear again. She's one of the many lead singers that I try to get to be in my band to sing backup. That doesn't really work. She's got a great band and a great career coming on her own. So, but those two performances on there, I really
I mentioned to you when you came in earlier today that Emily's vocal on the single that opens up the single just draws me into the song. It's a perfect opening, perfect start, makes you want to hear more.
Right.
And she nailed it. Emily Drinker
Mm-hmm.
is her name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just another Philly gal out there driving a singer-songwriter route.
Look at some of the best music's come out of Philadelphia, so you're in good league, good company, and so is Emily Drinker.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, we're going to listen. This is KSQD Santa Cruz. This is the new Squid in Town show where we talk about new releases and who's at the clubs. And Jefferson Barry is in the studio with me today, and we're just honored to. We're going to be doing the premiere, West Coast premiere, Santa Cruz premiere, maybe with the title track, even the world premiere on radio.
Correct.
Of Prairie Fire, right here on the Squid. So let's listen to a couple of the tracks, Jefferson. We're going to start off with "That Was Me," which we just talked about, people taking credit for things they didn't do. And then we're going to hear the title track, Prairie Fire, which I'm really interested to hear the lyrics again after your apt description, vivid description. You did.
Well, I would also have to be remiss and not mention that the co-writers on those songs.
Oh, please do.
Dave Brown co-wrote Prairie Fire. He came to me with the groove, and then I added the chorus and stuff, and he's been in the band since the beginning too. And Charlie O'Hay is a lyricist that I love working with because he's just wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
there you go.
Thanks for shouting them out. I hope they're listening now because we're going to hear the music. This is Jefferson Barry, world premiere right here on KSQD.
Sometimes I'll run into someone I haven't seen in a long time, perhaps from a job I held just for a week. And they'll quote me on something I don't remember saying, perhaps well deep in the drink. And if I like the way it sounds, I'll smile, come around, I'll say that was me, that was me. Even if it wasn't, that was me. Whoa, me. If I don't like it, it's easy to deny. That was me. There's a simple fascination that exists between salesmen and thieves. It's the art of the deal with a feeling that just can't be beat. And as reputations build, a scheme makes its way back to me. Yeah. And if it's something I might have done, a battle I might have won, I'll say that was me, that was me. Even if it wasn't, that was me. Whoa, me. If I don't like it, it's easy to deny. That was me. Memories are simple, fragile things. Now and then it's better to clip their wings. All a little voice inside me sings, that was me. A stage was set up to muddy up the water with the rage of the day. All the eyes they met. Ooh, prairie fire. They're ready for a fight. Ooh, look at the goons they've hired. See 'em on TV tonight. Right. Simple answers for simple people, for all their problems imagined and real. The fat man's laugh was like a bullet in a schoolyard, or the game show host on Let's Make a Deal. Ooh, prairie fire, not what it once was. Listen to the liar. Line up for the cause. Looked away and back up at another, wondering what this was here. Prairie fire was nothing like it once was. Folks have replaced